Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 58, number 228. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Regarding the statement of Allah, and we granted the vision, ascension to the heavens, which we made you see, as an actual eyewitness, was only made as a trial for the people. 17.60. Ibn Abbas added, the sights which Allah's apostle was shown on the night journey when he was taken to Bayt al-Maqdis, i.e. Jerusalem, were actual sights, not dreams. And the cursed tree, mentioned in the Quran, is the tree of Zaqqum itself. Volume 5, Book 58, number 229. Narrated by Abdullah bin Kabi, who was Kab's guide when Kabi turned blind. I heard Kabi bin Malik narrating, when he remained behind, i.e. did not join, the Prophet in the Ghazwa of Tabuk. Ibn Bukhair, in his narration, stated that Kabi said, I witnessed the Al-Aqaba pledge of allegiance at night with the Prophet when we jointly agreed to support Islam with all our efforts. I would not like to have attended the Badr battle instead of that Aqaba pledge, although Badr is more well known than it amongst the people. Volume 5, Book 58, number 230. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. I was present with my two maternal uncles at Al-Aqaba, where the Pledge of Allegiance was given. Ibn Uyayna said, one of the two was Al-Bara bin Marur. Volume 5, Book 58, number 231. Narrated by Jabir. My father, my two maternal uncles and I were among those who took part in the Aqaba pledge. Volume 5, Book 58, number 232. Narrated by Ubadah bin as-Samit, who had taken part in the Battle of Badr with Allah's apostle and had been amongst his companions on the night of Al-Aqaba pledge. Allah's apostle, surrounded by a group of his companions, said, come along and give me the pledge of allegiance that you will not worship anything besides Allah, will not steal, will not commit illegal sexual intercourse, will not kill your children, will not utter slander invented by yourself, and will not disobey me if I order you to do something good. Whoever among you will respect and fulfill this pledge, will be rewarded by Allah. And if one of you commits any of these sins and is punished in this world, then that will be his expiation for it. And if one of you commits any of these sins and Allah screens his sin, then his matter will rest with Allah. If he will punish him, and if he will excuse him. So I gave the Pledge of Allegiance to him for these conditions. Volume 5, Book 58, number 233. Narrated by Ubadah bin as-Samit. I was one of the Naqibs who gave the Aqaba Pledge of Allegiance to Allah's apostle. We gave the Pledge of Allegiance to him that we would not worship anything other than Allah, would not steal, would not commit illegal sexual intercourse, would not kill a person whose killing Allah has made illegal except rightfully, would not rob each other, and we would not be promised paradise if we did the above sins. Then if we committed one of the above sins, Allah will give his judgment concerning it. Volume 5, Book 58, number 234. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet engaged me when I was a girl of 6 years. We went to Medina and stayed at the home of Bani al-Harith bin Khazraj. Then I got ill and my hair fell down. Later on my hair grew again, and my mother, Ruman, came to me while I was playing in a swing with some of my girl friends. She called me, and I went to her, not knowing what she wanted to do to me. She caught me by the hand and made me stand at the door of the house. I was breathless then, and when my breathing became all right, she took some water and rubbed my face and head with it. Then she took me into the house. There in the house I saw some Ansari women who said, "Best wishes and Allah's blessing and a good luck." Then she entrusted me to them and they prepared me, for the marriage. Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle came to me in the forenoon and my mother handed me over to him, and at that time I was a girl of 9 years of age. Volume 5, Book 58, number 235. Narrated by Aisha. That the Prophet said to her, "You have been shown to me twice in my dream. I saw you pictured on a piece of silk and someone said to me, 'This is your wife.' When I uncovered the picture, I saw that it was yours. I said, 'If this is from Allah, it will be done.'" Volume 5, Book 58, number 236. Narrated by Hisham's father. Khadija died 3 years before the Prophet departed to Medina. He stayed there for 2 years or so and then he married Aisha when she was a girl of 6 years of age, and he consumed that marriage when she was 9 years old. Volume 5, Book 58, number 237. Narrated by Abu Wale. We visited Kababa who said, "We migrated with the Prophet for Allah's sake, so our reward became due and sure with Allah. Some of us passed away without taking anything of their rewards in this world, and one of them was Mus'ab bin Umar, who was martyred on the day of the battle of Uhud, leaving a striped woolen cloak. When we covered his head with it, his feet became naked, and when covered his feet, his head became naked. So Allah's apostle ordered us to cover his head and put some idkir, i.e. a special kind of grass, on his feet. On the other hand, some of us have had their fruits ripened in this world, and they are collecting them." Volume 5, Book 58, number 238. Narrated by Umar. I heard the Prophet saying, "The reward of deeds depends on the intentions, so whoever emigrated for the worldly benefits or to marry a woman, his emigration was for that for which he emigrated. But whoever emigrated for the sake of Allah and His Apostle, his emigration is for Allah and His Apostle." Volume 5, Book 58, number 239. Narrated by Mujahid bin Jabir al-Makki. Abdullah bin Umar used to say, "There is no more hijra, i.e. migration, after the conquest of Mecca." Volume 5, Book 58, number 240. Narrated by Ata bin Abi Rabah. Ubayd bin Umar al-Laythi and I visited Aisha and asked her about the hijra, i.e. migration, and she said, "Today there is no hijra, emigration. A believer used to run away with his religion to Allah and His Apostle lest he should be put to trial because of his religion. Today Allah has made Islam triumphant, and today a believer can worship his Lord wherever he likes. But the deeds that are still rewardable, in place of emigration, are jihad and good intentions." See Hadith number 42, Volume 4. Volume 5, Book 58, number 241. Narrated by Aisha. Sa'd said, "O Allah, you know that there is none against whom I am eager to fight more willingly for your cause than those people who disbelieved your apostle and drove him out of his city. O Allah, I think that you have ended the fight between us and them." Volume 5, Book 58, number 242. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's apostle started receiving the divine inspiration at the age of 40. Then he stayed in Mecca for 13 years, receiving the divine revelation. Then he was ordered to migrate and he lived as an emigrant for 10 years and then died at the age of 63 years. Volume 5, Book 58, number 243. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's apostle stayed in Mecca for 13 years, after receiving the first divine inspiration, and died at the age of 63.